Hey, this bitch on.
Rolex, cut it up. Rolex, buttercup.
It's time for the hottest radio show and podcast.
I just looked at my wrist, I got time today.
With DJ preme. It's time for Shef Radio. Yes, sir. Welcome in the Starter Here in it for our podcast. I am your hostess, flyer than Moses, DJ Preme. It is Shef Radio, man. You see, I got my Mahomes jersey, man, because Kansas City's in the building, man. I got Steven the DJ on here for the interview, man. I just want to tell y'all right now, unfortunately, due to some circumstances with my hard drive, I ended up having like 3 or 4 episodes of Shef Radio, and they all got lost. As far as the video, but the audio is still here, man. So instead of us redoing the whole interview because it was just so organic, man, y'all just gonna listen to the audio. It is Steven the DJ, man, straight from Kansas City, now in Houston, man, doing his damn thing. So yeah, man, we just gonna get into that right after the Chef Special. There will be no rap snacks. There will be no dessert mix. We just gonna do the Chef Special and then straight to the interview, man. So keep it locked. You already know what it is. It is Shef Radio. Let's go. The chef special.
In the kitchen, wrist twisted like a stir fry.
With DJ.
In the mix.
Gypsy crib in the middle of the night. I don't let you miss me as I put it down.
Hot dust case. Make that ass clap.
It's Shef Radio. Yes, sir. Time for the Chef Special, man. Let's get it. Let's go.
Aston Martin truck, ride the tail out. Had to get a new butler, 4 new maids to clean my house. Get my mama, my daddy, I'm day one nigga, key to my house. Made 500,000 every time you see me out. All the public with the grip, all the fans wanna take a pic. Niggas not on my level, why you mad? I fucked your bitch, had to say it, cause you talking. I ain't even tryna rub it in. I'm tryna make another 100 million, figure out how I'm gonna be my brothers in. Made Marnie poppin', we put Marnie on our jeans. Niggas on my dick, niggas watching my show, tryna see my scene. I been digging your bitch, I'm the heartbreak king. Then you went back and bought another diamond ring. I'm about my money, I'm about my cake, I'm about my cream. I keep telling you niggas I'm in love with lean. Cross on my wrist, Elliot got me right. Stop, I hate my color in. Can't fit in a tight spot. Aston Martin truck, ride the tail out. Had to get a new butler, 4 new maids to clean my house. Get my mama, my daddy.
They tryna treat me like a menace, they tryna turn me down. You know I'm different, I'm walking around with my skinnies, I'm standing run down. Saying he stayed with that nigga had got off the table, so we had to calm down. Come to the rack with a rat, you think I'm dramatic, them niggas get shot down. Went out of town, they said I had a warrant for murder, that shit gotta die down. I'm like, ta-da, nigga had put up his work, that nigga had got down. Can't have no body around, can't have no thotty around, cause niggas gon' bail out. When he was ballin', I had to go sit out, I wait on my turn before we had fell out. And I was standing my ground, I ain't had no body around, I'm fighting assault. I had a deadly weapon, I had a Smith & Wesson, but I got caught. I got Sam for all my cases, you know damn well he getting me off. Better do hair and nails, you better go pull up a scam and get me out. I'm this street shit to a street nigga and that time I ain't get caught. I had a best friend with a best friend, she a lesbian, off dope. I got my gas in, I went to the West End, I ain't go to the trunk. Keep it a buck, I was just listen to Gucci and G's, ain't listen to Pump. You a killer, you ride with wolves. Why you tell them we not a tour? Park the car, they gon' jump out the door. Catch them slipping, you get a reward. And they snatching my people for. Got the keys to Alicia Nord. Get your Addy up, hit in the wood. And the cat with the Drake at the door. Wow, wow, wow. Why you telling niggas we ain't into it? Why you telling niggas we going to war? I don't even know about them boys. Nah, we ain't tryna squash no wars. We ain't tryna make peace with them boys. Niggas don't want it in it.
Get the fuck up out my business, I can't for the riches. I had to think about it, I'm hood, baby, they ain't fucking with me. I'm riding black truck with the 10, yeah, when lil' mama with me. Tell that Draco sound like thunder, know it coming with me. Yeah.
Beats on 3, whatever you wanna call it, drum my roll, Cullen, baby, nigga, long little case, long little big day, nigga, done. Beats on 3, whatever you wanna call it, drum my roll,
that Draco sound like thunder, know it coming with me. Yeah, teed up. Heard that boy got wet, I had to shit, know my feet up. I'm from South Atlanta, George Bush, and blow these shit up. Keep fucking cause her father gone. This AP with them colors on. Factory set with a honeycomb. Chop the dreads and tell her, yeah. Bitch, I'm turned up. 2017, college show, that boy got burnt up. Maybe that story, scoop this hoe, she suck.
Let's go.
Concrete business in the city, know I got my muscle up. 250, it would tell you.
Yeah.
250, I was on them medics.
Can't see a damn thing, fake guap. I can't see a damn thing, fake guap.
Now,
Yeah,
they like,
they can't see me. They won't beat me.
yeah.
In that guinea,
Yeah.
with like zucchini.
What?
Wanna feed you, it ain't need me. She won't please me, cause she need
Cause she need
like
it.
me. They like mine,
They like my.
like me. They like mine, like me. They like mine,
Yeah.
like me. They like mine. We shoot at helicopters, monsters. We pull up with sticks and helicopters. We don't fuck with niggas, they the cops. I put my heart and soul into the Glock. Bitch, us never them. You ain't that, bitch, I'm him. You get zapped if it's static. You get mad, it go pew.
Let's go.
Smell the fume in that vet, it go view.
Yeah.
Say not what I do. Tell 'em sit. Bitch, come here. I just seen some niggas down the block. That they from here. No, I got a lot, but I need some damn more, yeah. If I catch the eye,
Now this that hot shit. Jimmy Snooker off the top rope, super flash.
Woo!
I get
Woo!
so with
Woo!
ice,
Woo!
pop shit. Either way, you slice the bottom line. I'm the top bitch. You should know I rock it, twisted, made it even out yet. All this jewelry at the grocery store, I'm obnoxious. Brought a home and closing on another. I know I'm blessed. Everybody wanna be gang, ain't no spots left. Bad bitch contest, it wouldn't be a contest. I'm connected. I don't know what's longer, man, my blacklist on my checklist. I don't know what's colder, man, my heart on my necklace. Pretty when I wake up, I'm a bad bitch at breakfast. Still might slide on the op.
It's electric.
Hating didn't work, so they lied. These bitches looking hurt and they fried. I know they wouldn't miss them if they died. Tell them move. New Chanel on my body, it's a boost. I'm so poppin', I don't ever gotta get introduced. One thing I never call a bitch for, it's a truce. Yeah, I can't wait to put that bitch to use. Ooh, checks coming fast, sound like swoosh. Ooh, give him to them straight, 100 proof. I thought I killed you hoes before, it must be deja vu. It's either that or I'm catching body number.
Watch shit don't never stop. 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 Never stop. Watch shit don't 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 never stop. Never stop. Watch shit don't never stop. I just flip the switch. I don't know nobody else is doing this. Body start to drop, ayy.
Hit the flow.
Now they wanna know me since I hit the top, ayy. This a rolling, not a stop. Watch shit don't never stop. This the flow that got the block hot. Shit that's super hot, ayy. Give me my respect. I just took it like
fuck a pigeonhole, I'm a night owl, it's a different mode. I'ma have to make a paint of 6 on a pinky toe. Heard you with a shooting guard, just let a nigga know. I would have you courtside, not the middle row. All good love in a minute though. I can't stress about no bitch cause I'm a timid soul. Plus I'm cooking up ambition on the kitchen stove. Pop start to bubble, see the suds, that shit good to go. Whole sound suave, but I can't get me cold. Bro, think he John Wayne. I bought them Yellowstones, love the way they hang, babe. For the silicone, everybody fake now. You could crack the code, bust down everything. My piece. Push a P.
Cop new hammers for my P. We don't want no peace.
Got a spot at post spot. Jeff for peace.
Drop the data, now we plotting. Exotic peas.
Pointers in the paddock in my piece. I'm push a P.
Cop new hammers for my P. We don't want no peace.
Got a spot at post spot. Jeff for peace.
Drop the data, now we plotting. Exotic peas. She not a lesbian for peace. She turned lesbian. Push a P.
I'm push a P. I'm capital P. I write these president count.
Let's go.
Push a P.
Push push a P.
Knees mopping down the
Yeah, 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 yeah.
P. Private suite, privacy, bitch, I'm pushing P. Purple paint, pussy pink, bitch, I'm pushing P. Push P, I'm pushing P.
I'm F-R-E-E, fuck nigga free. That mean I ain't gotta worry about no fuck nigga cheat. And I'm S-I-N-G-L-E again. Outside hanging out the window with my ratchet ass friends.
Let's go.
Go, 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 go.
Let's go.
Bitch, I'm G to the L to the O, big glow. You can catch me down in
Specs a nigga, he from Tennessee. I had a thought, she be with this shit. She told me where he be, I say for sure. Baby, let me know if you wanna eat. She like, Vaughn, you already know, just
put your girl on fleek.
I'm like, cool, I can do that, boo. What you want, some shoes? Jimmy Choo, with a handbag too. Red or baby blue, she get the smile. She ain't used to this, cause she ain't used to shit. I'm just laughing, could've been a pimp, the way I move my lips. I be speeding, could've been a driver, the way I
push the wheel.
You a hoe, could've been a bitch, the way you throw a fit. But fuck that, right back to the script, cause this a major lick. He got bricks, plus his neck and icy, and it matches wrist. Now it's like 6, told her hit his phone, meet her in the wick, but he ain't go. But he ain't that slow, say meet him at the store.
Let's go, let's
cool.
go.
Let him run his move, do what he gon' do, cause this the plot. Put him in a pot,
let it cook like stew.
I grab my Glock, it been through a lot, but it's this shoe like new, we at the top. Yeah, we lost a lot, but that's just how it go. But check the scope, if y'all lose one more, that's
6 to 24.
Let me focus, can't be zoning out. He pulling up now, he double pop. He ain't getting out, he in that push to start. That new Porsche is built like a horse, colors like a fork. He got a ring, I guess he ain't divorced. Wife probably a whore. Now she walk up, she strutting her stuff. This bitch thick as fuck. Got in the truck, kissed him on his lip. He cupping up, but now I sneak up, crouching like a tiger. Light Snoop off the wire, the block on fire. So I take precaution, mask on Michael Myers. I'm on his ass, he finna be mad. He gon' beat her ass, but this what happened. I got to the dope, I thought I was capping. I was lacking, cause that go to up, yelling I was cracking. I'm like, what? I'm like, nigga, who? I was born to shoot, I got aim. I'm like Johnny Dane, when it come to
Tell them boys they better pray. Tell them boys stay out the way. Tell them ain't nobody safe.
On my mama, on my gang.
We gon' put it in their face. Yeah.
It's scared to come outside. Niggas know we stepping 9-day. God know I'm stepping now and later. Until it hurts, it ain't no mercy, that's just how we made it. You heard that church up in my verses, God, that's how I'm raised.
Let's go.
God, he gotta forgive me, I'm insane, oh.
Yeah.
Get down on my knees when I'm in pain, oh. Tired of the rain on my name.
I clean this blood off my Jesus, please.
Oh, Jesus, please. Can you feel my needs, yeah? Tired of fucking up, I'm in the streets, yeah. Tryna take away this hurt inside of me.
Scared to come outside.
God, I need a second chance. Knowing that I love you, but sometimes I do the devil dance. Lost a couple of my partners, so I'm sliding out of whoever end. Drop one of them niggas when I kill them, call the reverend, yeah. Cause no weapon formed against me shall
prosper, yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm touching on this chopper, yeah. Waiting on them boys outside.
Scared to come outside.
Ooh, yeah.
Niggas know we stepping night and day. Niggas know we stepping nowadays. Tell them mercy, ain't no mercy, that's just how we made it.
That dope boy, ooh, that dope boy did it.
Ain't like I ain't got no friends, ain't nobody fucking with me.
Hey, I see you doing cool, but you do better fucking with me.
She only bad up in pictures, that little hoe be catfishing.
Hey, walk with a limp.
I walk.
Walk with a limp. A walk, yeah. I'm not one of them. At all, yeah. Bitch, you put your ass in her ass, twerk it on your head. Why you always acting like a nigga owe you something? Hey, always in your feeling like a little hoe or something. Hey, broken real life on Instagram, you getting money. Damn, you ain't got a lot of Lulu, keep that shit 100.
Hey, this is for the gangsters up in Texas. Them youngers out in Florida out there living super Rickies. Them niggas on that West Coast, Cali with the beat.
I never seen you in my life, so how the fuck you in the streets?
I step in the party and these niggas hide the hole. Put your ass in the air and put your head Stop running. Hey, I'm just a hood nigga with a whole lot of money. Hey, look like money, talk like money, yeah, smell like money, like blue honey. Hey, when we fucking come here, baby, stop running. Hey, I'm just a hood nigga with a whole lot of money. Bitch, bend it over. Don't let me see. She a hoe, then she my hoe. Don't care about shit that she need. I'ma get these niggas hell every day. That's on my keys. Ask my people now. I was in that car when we sleep. Hit my nigga down, something money through his beat. Hey, where to put this shit? I'm hiding money in the fridge. Hey, thought that I was over with, they wrong, they was so wrong. What I look like beefing with a pump? I'm 200 strong. Hey, between me and Lay and True, we can get 200 gone. How you go to sleep, bro? Get fucked up, I ain't coming home. Every bitch I ever touched in life, hate to leave me alone. My diamonds ring my street cred official and my money long. I'm looking like money, talk like money, yeah, smell like money, like blue. Hey, when we fucking come here, baby, stop running. Hey, I'm just a hood nigga
with a
whole lot of money.
Okay.
Look like money.
What?
Talk like money.
Okay.
Smell like money.
Yeah.
Like blue honey.
Yeah.
When we fucking come here, baby, stop running. Hey, I'm just a hood nigga with a whole lot of money. Bitch, you know I look good. Fried chicken, Colin Beaver, cause he cook good.
Yes, sir. Shout out that man OTB Fastlane. Like money or money. I don't even know the name of it. Yeah, look like money, man. Hey, we about to get into the interview. That man, Steven the DJ, he's in the building, man. Kansas City is here. Let's get it. It is Shef Radio. Yeah, sir. Welcome to Starting Here in the Part Podcast. You already know it's your host is Flyer the Most, DJ Preme, man. I got the newest, the latest, and the greatest, man. Steven the DJ is in the building, man. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
What's up, man? I'm Steven. I'm a DJ. Met our buddy Javion through our company we work with, LG Event Pro. And
LG.
What's up, Lewis? I'm just glad to be here, man.
Yeah, man. So where you from?
So that's a long story in itself. I've been in Houston since 2005. I went to school at Sam Houston State, 2001, graduated 2005.
Okay.
Born in Kansas City.
Yes, sir.
What's up?
Yes, sir. Kansas City in the building.
Yep, but kind of grew up all around southwestern United States. Lived in Albuquerque, lived in Southern California for a few years. Actually, elementary school in Southern Cal. And then middle school in Topeka, Kansas. And then high school in Grapevine, Texas.
Okay.
So I've been in Texas about 25 years.
Okay.
So,
man, since you are a KC native, man, I gotta kind of dabble into that, man. Do you ever go back to home? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's been a while. About 3 years ago, my family, we made a trip back to Kansas City for my dad's 70th birthday.
Okay.
And it came ahead right a big snowstorm, and it was really, really cool. We stayed in the plaza. And right at the day we were leaving, all this blanket of snow came across, and it was nice to get out of there before the weather really hit. Because as we just experienced this last weekend with that Arctic blast, I am not a cold weather person. I prefer the heat.
Yeah.
And it's quite obvious that I would shiver and die if I had to spend any extended time outside.
Yeah.
So I'm just glad to be in Texas.
Yeah. It's funny too because I kind of feel like that I've gotten a little used to Texas, the heat and stuff like that, to where if I go back home or it gets too cold or anything like that, I'm I've been through it, but it's it's been a minute since I've been through some cold weather like that, and I'll be like, I don't want to deal with something like that.
Yeah, they say you get used to it. Oh, you'll get used to the cold. I'll disagree with that. Like I said, I was in Topeka, Kansas. I was in middle school in Topeka, Kansas, Washburn Rural. Topeka's just, it's a state capital, but of all the 50 state capitals, I'll rank it 49 or 50th. It's really just not a pleasant place. I think it has a lot to do with my awkward years. You know, 7th and 8th grade, middle school, you're struggling to fit in. You're getting hair in places that you don't really remember or think you'd have hair.
Yeah.
But I just fit better in Texas weather.
No, I feel you on that.
One of my other hobbies that I do is play baseball, and baseball is just much more pleasant in the warm weather.
Yeah.
Much so. Yeah,
that's true. Best or favorite barbecue spot, KC, or favorite restaurant?
So I
Let's
like
do both.
Arthur Bryant's, of course,
Yes,
you know,
sir.
classic, and Gates Barbecue.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those are
Man,
good.
I'm not gonna lie. Gates sausage. Oh my God, I miss it so much. It is
Yeah.
so good. It's so good.
know.
It's funny because my girlfriend's mom for Christmas sent me down like 4 or 5 bottles of Gates sauce, man.
Good for her.
Just because
Yeah, that's a keeper, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Because whenever I'm making like little turkey sandwiches or something like that, man, pour some Gates
Pork
sauce
ribs.
on that, man. Oh
Yeah.
man.
And don't get me wrong, I love Texas barbecue. I love the brisket, you know, but there's something about the pork ribs in Kansas City. Just you can't beat, man.
Barbecue capital of the world, man.
You can't beat that.
Barbecue capital of the world.
Yeah.
It's funny too because I like Texas barbecue. I don't like Texas barbecue sauce. To me, it's very sweet. I don't really care for a sweet barbecue.
I like that
sauce.
tangy.
Yeah, I like the tangy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's you know, that's especially what I grew up on. Like, it's like, dude. And then, you know, I get a lot of people from here that's like, oh man, dude, Texas got the best barbecue. Absolutely not. You haven't actually been to the barbecue capital of the world. You know what I'm saying?
You got to go to KC.
Yeah, you got to go to KC before, you know what I'm saying, before you can ever say, oh, this place has the best barbecue. You have to go to KC. And it's not like you can't just go to KC and just try Gates or just try Arthur Bryant. You have to try Gates, Arthur Bryant's, LC's, Big T's, you know, what am I missing? Jack Stack, you know, all of these other places, man, just to be like, okay, all right, I give it up. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. Let's talk about DJing and stuff, man. Let's talk about LG a little bit. It's funny. Let me ask you this: how long have you been with the company?
So I've been with Lewis since about 2015, 2016 ish. You know, I started DJing. It's always been a side hustle to me. We can talk about that a little bit more. But I just reached out to Lewis one day on Facebook. I said, "Hey, I'm looking to." You know, get more business, more gigs. Let's go talk. And back then, you know, it was a little bit smaller outfit. But, you know, over the last several years, he's really expanded out. And it's really, really remarkable to see how the company itself has expanded and does these great, just fantastic production events. Like we got the big one on New Year's at Crystal Ballroom, the Crystal Ballroom New Year's event. It's going to be a circus theme, dueling DJs of 1,500 something people, $100, all you can get, all you can drink.
Yeah.
You know, let me promote it now.
Yeah.
But I'm very excited about it because, again, the company didn't have that over the last couple years with the COVID. And just the Crystal Ballroom, man. It's just something, just almost mythical about that ballroom itself. It's historical. It's got a cool patio. And, when that ball drops at midnight, man, we're going to have the LED screen. We're going to have the smoke. We're going to have the confetti cannons. I'm getting excited thinking about it right now because I know the next few days we're going to be really doing a lot of work to lead up to it.
Yeah.
And it's really going to be something, man. I'm really excited to do it.
Yeah.
Really excited to do it.
Yeah, man. I'll talk about like just how I even got into LG, man. It's actually because of if y'all have seen the interview with DJ Just 100, he is the one that actually got me onto LG. Basically, he had a gig that he had to do, but unfortunately, he wasn't able to make it because he was going to be in New York doing another gig. And he called me like, "Hey, man, I got a gig on." I think it was like November 5th or something like that. He was like, "Hey, you want to do it?" I'm like, "Yeah, man, sure." So he put me in contact with Shefali, and man, it really just kind of started from there. Got that one gig, they liked me, brought me back, put me on. So that's how I started. And basically, how I even met Steven is I had, of course, if you guys follow me on Instagram, you see the little page of how I talk about Shef Radio and what it is, and I basically just went out on a limb. I knew there was a lot of DJs in LG, and I was like, I sent it in our DJ page, like, hey, this is what I do. Anybody want to be on the show? And he was like, yeah, man. So that's how we met. We talked about it, stuff like that, man. And now we're here. Now I got him on Shef Radio for sure.
Shef Radio, man.
Yeah, man.
It's a good communication tool that we use, is that Crew app. And, we've got DJs, we've got production, we've got the company-wide subsets that we're on, and you just reached out, and I thought it would be a really cool thing to just expand and talk about some things that are a little more, on the personal side, how I've evolved as a DJ, where, how I started, what I did, what it was like, what happened, and what it's like now.
Right.
Just really, really interesting. So I'm really, really grateful that you posted that up, and I'm just glad to be here, man.
Hey, I appreciate that, man. I was just gonna ask you, man, how did you get into DJing?
So I grew up. Like I said, my parents move around a lot, and my dad actually was really into music. My mom as well. My dad was in a band in high school with Bill Murray, a high school band called the Dutch Masters. So he's played guitar, always, pulled out the guitar when we're just kind of hanging around. And while I never really got the play an instrument, side of it, I really captured that music makes you feel a certain way.
Yeah.
And so, we're driving. My mom, she loves Neil Diamond. I'm a big Neil Diamond fan. Sweet Caroline, America,
Yep.
Love on the Rocks, all those those classic good American singer-songwriter hits. And my dad was he liked the Kinks, that 60s garage rock kind of sound.
Yep.
And grew up with that, listening to the oldies. I think one thing that we had one soundtrack that we really wore out in our Dodge Caravan was the Dirty Dancing soundtrack.
Okay.
Always a classic.
Yeah.
But how I got into DJing, it's really kind of almost a basic story. It was I went to Sam Houston State University. I was in a fraternity, and we had one of the frat brothers was the DJ at our parties, and I just said I can do a better job than this guy, and it led that, and I started doing it that way, and on campus events, working for a local DJ company in Huntsville. I worked for the campus radio station. That was really interesting.
Yeah.
And from there, just doing the parties, doing house parties, getting into music that way. And back then, you had your 19-inch rack dual CD players. So I would go to each gig with 4 200 CD books. And this is also like right at the time when Napster was big, and burning CDs, making custom lists and stuff. And I remember really well when it really started to come together for me as like a DJ was like around 2004. It was like that summer of 2004 when Usher's "Yeah" came out. Like that was like the party. That was like the hit. And then like Lil Jon's like "Get Low," and 50 Cent. Like that was like that kind of music was really hitting its apex of like, this will really, fill up the dance floor. And so I started acquiring the equipment, and it was a natural progression from, those college parties, house parties, campus events, to weddings. And then like friends just started getting married. I was at that natural young age when, people start just getting married. Hey, I need a DJ. Hey, are you able to come DJ our party? And like I said, I acquired the equipment, got a microphone. And for me, I've always been that kind of a personal, like I can just talk on a microphone. I hopefully, I can sound clear enough to a point where it makes sense to the audience.
Right.
But, weddings is how I got my start, man.
Right.
Private events, those parties. I've had, I could say I've probably DJ'd less than 500, but more than, 400. Somewhere in that number over the last 20 years, the number of weddings I've probably DJ'd or been a part of. So it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I've grown up a lot, especially over the last 3 years, pre-COVID. Now, I had a family. I went through a divorce in early 2020, and I just got back into DJing about a year and a half ago. I took a hiatus. I sobered up.
Clap it up for that, man. Good stuff. Yeah, good stuff, for real. Good stuff.
I needed help, and the help was there, and I took it. And it's been a remarkable journey getting sober and coming and returning to the DJ life, because as you know, we are the party.
Yeah.
The audience is oftentimes under the influence, and which makes our job easier, because earlier than 8, 9 o'clock, people aren't feeling right, but by 10, 11, 12, people are drunk and they're moving around a lot more. But for me, I approach it like it's a business, and I know that I know one thing that like it's appreciative working for a company is that when I do treat it as a business, it's not a playground. Right. I approached it a much different way, say 10 years ago, 15 years ago, even around 5 years ago, because it was a recess. For me, it was a recess. I'd get away. And I would have an excuse like, oh, I'm the DJ. I'm only good after like 3 beers, so I need to drink more. I need to I feel you on that. Yeah. So for me, I feel I talk better on the microphone sober. I feel I mix better. I feel I'm in more control of myself, as well as the actual happenings of a wedding. Because as you know, if you've worked a wedding before. There's a lot going into a wedding. There's a lot of moving parts. And in order for you to break out to that point where, okay, it's now dance floor, party up, there's a lot that has to go into it. The ceremony, the cocktail hour, the introductions, the first dance. All these sets and cycles that have to go through because, like, man, I tell you, it's like the DJ only gets, like, we're like, the undaunted... we're like the it's glamorous, but it's only glamorous for those like 2 hours that we capture the dance floor. There's not much. It's very unforgiving. Those aspects of the wedding where all the eyes are on the bride and groom, when in an aspect they're really like watching you. It's during a ceremony, it's very silent, and you want the focus. You don't want to. Part of it is you don't want to fuck up.
Exactly.
Because the ceremony's quiet, and boy, you play a wrong song, or it cuts off, or the microphone goes down. Man, you really got to have that professional grade equipment, and you got to be focused. And for me, doing it the last year and a half now, I'm in a much better time. Much better. I have a much better time doing it. I'm in a better headset. In a better frame of mind as I perform. And representing the company, it's really it's remarkable to be able to do it with a clear mind.
Yeah, I love the company, and I don't think that people really realize that DJing is not just playing music. Like a lot of people just think that like, oh, you could just play this song or requesting and stuff like that. Like, you don't understand that it's not just playing music. Like, especially when people may do request or may ask for a request. My music is downloaded onto my computer, so I don't. I use Wi-Fi sometimes if it's there for me, but if it's not, if I don't have your song, I don't have your song. The one that you're requesting. Also, you got to read the room. You got to MC. You don't have to MC, but that is a part of DJing too. MCing, talking to the crowd, doing certain things. And then when it comes to the wedding, man, playing those songs when they need to be played, when they need to cut off. New songs, introductions, like you said, the first dance, the bouquet toss songs, and all of that stuff, man. There's a lot of stuff that actually goes into it, and a lot of shit that we deal with. But we deal with, man, that other people don't realize. Like the people, even me at the club, like when drunk people come and say, "Hey, bro, what they drink in their hand?"
Play some Bad Bunny. Play some Bad Bunny.
Stuff like that. And it's just like, dude.
Hold on.
You around thousands of dollars worth of equipment. Please back up with that drink because you this is like your fourth one, and I can already tell you was wobbling on your way over here. So it's just a lot of stuff that we deal with as DJs that I don't feel like people appreciate or like feel that it's just like I feel like on people on the outside looking in is just like, yeah, you just playing music.
You just push and play.
Yeah, you just push and play,
right?
Yeah. No, it's mixing. It's it's doing a lot of other stuff that people don't realize that goes into that. And one of my biggest pet peeves, and I wanted to get to this too. I hate when people come up to me while I'm DJing because I am still doing a job. I'm still working. So when you come up to me now, it'd be different if I'm just letting a song play and I'm on my phone or something like that for those that couple minutes or whatever, letting the song play. But if you actively see me pushing buttons, turning knobs, doing all this stuff, and you come up to me and you're like, hey, I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna either one ignore you and be like, do you not see me working? Like, hold on,
Yeah.
and they're like, I just want to quit. Hold on, So that's like one of my biggest pet peeves as a DJ, man. Do you have any pet peeves as a DJ?
Sure. I mean, pet peeves as a DJ. What really annoys me, drunk bridesmaids.
Yeah.
Bad Bunny, please. But be honest, JV, I have found that Bad Bunny writes his own stuff.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of respect there, for someone that makes party music and crafts his own sound.
Yeah.
Got to respect that. Let's see, man, you got me on the spot. I can probably come up with some. I think when I'm really pressed and okay, this is a good one. When I'm really trying to build up to a certain song that I know, so like I kind of reframe my mind like, okay, this one's going to be a single, this is a double, this is a triple, and then you blow out with that home run, right? And that's like where I found out what the home run was like back in like 2005 when I played Ushers. Yeah, that was like the big one, right? Yeah. I mean, that one just boom, people right on the dance floor.
Yeah.
Uptown Funk was a good one like a few years ago. That was a home run. And another thing, you can like clear the slate with like playing like a line dance. Okay, so we got a line dance. Trust me, it's basic. It's DJing 101, freshman level. But hey, when you're at a wedding, the audience is the audience.
Right.
People are there to have fun. And I think for me, like what's so easy about me is even though I carry a big ego and I like to see my name, I like to see my name on that piece of paper. I wrote this article. Oh, it's great. But I set my ego aside for a wedding because the wedding's not about me. It's about these two people coming together, two families under one roof. These moments in time in a person's life that they don't get back.
Right.
The groom's family, he's all there they're all there. Everyone that's important to him is there. The bride, everyone that's important to her is all under one roof. And we don't get these moments very often in life. Sure. And that's what makes me appreciate them so much is that we are we're like the fixer of the night.
Yeah.
We provide that moment in time for them. And so that's why when I take that mindset in there. So my pet peeve is when I'm working to a certain point and either like say the coordinator or the bride or somebody comes up and by all means, if it's the bride, it's okay. But it's like, oh, hey, we're going to clear the dance floor. We want a group picture of everyone there. So call everyone, call all of, the grandma, Grandma Joanne wants to come and take a group photo. So it'll clear out half the dance floor. And then you're kind of like set in there, like, or, a good one, a fake exit. Oh, a fake exit, man. Because the photographer's got to leave at 9:30. They only booked him to 9:30, but you're going until like 10:30. So, what I really like to do is I like to build up to a certain song.
Right.
I had this one wedding where it was a request on their like must play was Sandstorm. Like they wanted to hear some Darude Sandstorm. So I'm like, okay, I'm building up there. Throw a little, little EDM remix of some pop song or something like that. And I'm getting up there. I'm working my BPMs up to like 130 where Sandstorm is.
Right.
And they're like, oh,
I do the same thing.
Yeah. Photographer's got to leave. We got to go. We got to do a fake exit. And then you get all the people out and they leave. And then you gotta build that back up, and you're like, man, I almost threw on Sandstorm. I really wanted Sandstorm.
Yeah, no, I really feel you on that too. Do you have any, and not LG itself, but have you ever had any like times where something either went wrong or anything like that, or you just had a bad experience maybe with not LG, but like with a client, that you were doing, or it was just. It was them.
Sure. I mean, I've left a night thinking that like I crushed it, everything went well, only to come find out the next day that the bride wrote a very scathing email of me and my performance. And let's just average it out, say like 19 times out of 20, flawless, everything's great, even do a great review. But those one times, it's like you'll get this real good high, and then you'll get just crash right back to earth when they're like, oh, you you didn't wait until the father of the bride was on the dance floor for the play the father of the bride song. Like I played it too early because daddy was going to the bathroom and you don't hear that, you don't feel that until the next day if there's like a bad review. Now, granted, I take that into account. I'm always my biggest critic.
Right.
But like, at the end, at the front of the night, or at the end of the night when you're like, okay, everything went well, everything great, and then you're like, we get punched in the face the next day with a scathing email. Yeah, that always hurts, man. That always hurts when I get a bad review. But hey, you live and learn. You always want to you strive. I call them learning experiences.
And sometimes people are just picky too. Like
it's a very, like I said, it's unforgiving sometimes to really do this job because we make or break the night. And granted, the audience of 200 what goes in there and has this amazing time, and you crush the dance floor. Oh, you mean you threw on the YMCA and grandma, grandma 90-year-old grandma was out there doing the YMCA. She hasn't moved since the. She hasn't moved since 2012, and here she is, throwing her hands up in the air. Yeah. And you get that feeling, and that's a bottled feeling. If you can like control it and sell it, man, that'll be that's an addiction right there. So, another good one. This was like when I was first. This is like really like the first couple years I was DJing. There was a bride, maid of honor, who was uninvited to the wedding. And she showed up to the reception. She was told not to come. She was broken up like you're not going to be the maid of honor like a week before the wedding. And a lot of these inside things you're not privy to. Right. Say, like night before, because you're just the DJ. You just kind of show up, play the music. And this was out in near Livingston. Okay. So yeah, they're way up backwoods, East Texas. Real nice place. And it's late at night. This dance floor's going, and all of a sudden you just kind of see like people pointing and gasping. The maid of honor showed up.
Oh wow!
And I mean, not even on site, like pandemonium and like just a brawl. Someone took their shoe off. Grandma got stabbed in the neck with a heel. And I just kind of sat back and I played Elton John's Saturday Night's All Right for a Fight. I couldn't do anything but laugh.
That's
crazy. Yeah, doing this 20 years, you'll come across some good. Well, that's a first.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. So I had I was actually gonna do a wedding 2 weeks ago. Shefali ended up hit me up. She was like, "Hey, I need a DJ last minute." It was I think it was like a Monday or Tuesday, and she needed me for that Saturday. And I was like, okay, cool. Sure, I'll go ahead and do it. She was like, okay, I'm going to send you over the information. Reach out to the bride, make sure. And I do that anyway. The bride and the groom, I reach out to them just to make sure I have everything. We're on the same page with everything. I always do it just to make sure. So the next day, after she had sent me the information, I reached out to the bride. I was like, hey, I'm your DJ, just kind of wanted to go over a couple things with you. Just wanted to find out what genre of music you wanted to do, stuff like that, all of that, because it wasn't in the little script that they give us. So she was like, I'm confused. She was like, I've already talked to the DJ about this. And I was like, oh, well, I'm the DJ now. I was like, I didn't know you had another DJ. So apparently there was another DJ, and that DJ, they didn't want that DJ to go for specific reasons. Stuff had happened behind closed doors or whatever. So they were like, okay, we're going to switch. And they chose me. And the lady was extremely rude to me. Like extremely rude. I was on the phone, talking nice to her, like asking her questions, like, hey, just want to make sure this and that. She's just like, well, I've already went through. She's like, I've already went through this. I've already done this. Where's the other DJ? This and that, this and that. And I'm like, ma'am, I don't have a clue. Number one, that's none of my business. Number two, I was just appointed that I am now your DJ. She was like, well, I don't want you to be my DJ and all this other stuff. And I'm like, okay, well, you're going to have to just talk to Shefali about that. So they ended up talking. Shefali ended up letting her know, trying to like let her know, like, hey, this and this happened. So this is why Javion is going to now be your DJ. And she was still frustrated and upset. She still wanted the other guy, but they literally did not choose. They took the spot away from him because of certain things that had happened on previous events of his.
Sure. So
they were like, we're not going to do a third time's a charm with this. We're going to go ahead and take the safe route and choose someone that we know that will be prepared. So just to make a long story short, man, she was kind of rude to Shefali a little bit. And she was just like adamant about having the other guy. And I was like, at this point, take him. Like, I don't even want to be your DJ anymore, because I came to you, you and your husband basically saying, asking you guys how you want these, certain things and checking in on you guys, all of this stuff before I actually went to you. And I'm going to give you premium quality, all of this other stuff. And I wasn't upset that she chose the other DJ. You are already working with that person, but at the same time, you didn't have to be so freaking rude about it. But yeah, man, that was like one of the, I'm not gonna say like worst experience, but that's one of the more recent experiences that I had. But I've never had any, and I've only done like a handful of events with LG, and they've all been great. But that one experience, nothing about LG is problematic, but that client was just like, I was like, at this point, I don't even really want to do your wedding anymore.
It can be a very thankless position, and a lot of the way the booking goes at the company, it just happens that sometimes things happen, and LG, we strive to be the utmost professional, and sometimes things happen, and
I'm like, dude, I don't suck. You make me seem like I suck. I don't suck. I'm good. I know what I'm doing. I'm still a DJ.
Yeah. I just know that my experience with working with the company has been nothing but
Oh yeah, company absolutely great. And I appreciate Shefali, if you ever see this. I appreciate Shefali for how she handled it, and helping me out and stuff like that. And she didn't even have to choose me as one of the persons that she even thought about. She literally, the first person came to her mind, I guess, was me. She texted me like, "Hey, I need a DJ urgently, last minute. Can you do it?" And I said yes, but I didn't end up doing it because the bride was like, "I don't want you." So
it happens.
But yeah, man. Do you MC while you're DJing?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. I will make those transitions, from say one event or one subset of the event to the next. It's time to cut the cake, or ladies and gentlemen, please have your seat. We are going to do the grand entrance. We will announce the bridal party and then the new Mr. and Mrs. bride and groom. Mm-hmm. They will be going to their first dance. We'll bless the food, and we will open up the buffet line. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, on behalf of bridegroom, thank you all so much for coming out tonight. Moving in there. One thing I kind of don't do is, I don't, get up in the, let's go. I kind of have that, that switch where I can be the cheese dick DJ voice guy, but I don't bring it out. Especially like, for events, like a wedding, simply because I don't want to make the night about me. Yeah. I feel that if you go to a wedding, and speaking like as an audience member, if you go to the wedding and you remember the DJ did something wrong. Other than like if you just remember the DJ being like, man, we had such an awesome time. And that's, again, that kind of just comes back to the training and the professionalism that for the company that we work for, they make it about the client itself. It's not about the DJ. It's not about, the egos behind the tables. It's about what the tables can provide for the time. We craft these events with the music and the playlist, and we make it about them, not about us. So I do speak on the microphone because I think that's an essential tool that every DJ must carry in their quiver. Every DJ's got to be, at least an event type DJ has to be able to be comfortable speaking on the microphone and also dictating the event in a clear and concise manner, because if let's go, nobody's going to understand that. We want to, the audience wants to know, it's time to cut the cake, or it's time, for bridegroom to share their first dance. And another thing that I always do, I always like to get the name of the bride's father, the groom's mother, for those dances, because I want to tailor the night to be a very memorable night for them. It's one thing to be like, okay, well, the father of the bride, please come to the floor and bring the bring the bride out, and they will share their dance together. It's like, hey, will Timothy please bring Amanda out, and they will share their dance.
Yeah.
Get the bride's father name, get the groom's mother's name, and make it tailor the event. Craft this night to each specific couple, and that's what I feel like. That's what they pay us for.
Yeah.
That's what they want.
Yeah.
Because. Now, granted, JV, you can get these things that are kind of cookie cutter, because you're like, okay, you're going to play the Cupid Shuffle, you're going to play the wobble.
Yep.
Okay, there's going to be some two-step in there. There's going to be some
must.
Michael Jackson. Of course there's going to be Michael Jackson. That's another thing I do enjoy about the weddings is like Michael Jackson's great because you can like go from disco, to Michael, to the 80s, to Justin Timberlake, and you can
go all over the place.
Yeah, you can go all over. Like you start him here, and you can go any one which way.
Yep.
That's what's great.
Yep.
So Bruno Mars, another one.
Man, you play any Bruno Mars song,
any Bruno,
it's a hit.
Yeah,
any Bruno Mars,
absolutely. Yeah.
Do you either use any equipment or have anything that you feel that makes you stand out as a DJ or maybe stand out from other DJs? Like me personally, I have a Zoom V6, which is a vocal processor. Basically, I can use auto-tune in my mic if I want to. And I actually do it a lot at when I'm DJing clubs and stuff like that, just to make me stand out. I don't like overdo it to where like I'm using it the whole time because it can get annoying.
You sound like T-Pain?
Yeah, I can if I want to, but man, I can do a lot of different stuff. Yeah, I can do a lot of different stuff with it, man.
That's cool.
I make it to where like even some people come like, is there freaking auto-tune in your mic? And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, there's like live auto tune. I was like, yeah, and I can turn it on, turn it off, stuff like that. And it just makes it adds a different element, but also makes me stand out. Like I've never heard a DJ with auto tune in their mic, but also you can hear, you hear maybe Travis Scott, other artists, they have auto tune in their mic when they're performing, but I've never heard a DJ actually have auto tune in their mic, while MCing. So do you have anything that you use or that makes you stand out? You just kind of do your own thing.
I would say my stuff is pretty. I mean, it's not run of the mill, but I use powered speakers. I have QSC K10s, a K sub. I use a Pioneer SB3. I'm trying to save for like a little bit better one.
It's the same thing,
but I have my own smaller like 6-channel mixer. I plug all that into. I have professional grade wireless microphones. Okay. To be honest, I don't think I have any one thing that's gonna like stand me out other than like it's not. I don't want this to be, I don't want to make it about me. So I have like a facade that kind of, and all my equipment, I tape all my wires down to really kind of make sure I don't trip over anything or make sure if like there's a speaker standing out, like I tape all that stuff down. I just I want to kind of just stay in the almost not the background because I really want to be. That's another thing. Like I like to be. That's a good pet peeve of mine. When they stick the DJ all the way in the back of the room and like the dance floor is right at the front.
Yeah,
how are you going to control the dance floor if the DJ's 50 yards away?
Yeah,
that's a good pet peeve.
Plus the speakers are over there with you too.
Speakers are over there too. Yeah, I know. Oh, that's another good one. Is like cocktail. Oh yeah. Cocktail hours outside, but dance floor's inside with the reception, and then ceremony is way over there. Like that's kind of a problem you can solve with like the correct equipment, I suppose. Yeah. But like, when you're doing cocktail hour and like the reception's inside and cocktails outside and you got to kind of run your wires and stuff, that's a little bit annoying. Yeah, I want to say it's not like a pet peeve. As long as I'm prepared, you're fine. But like, I just wish there was like a better like.
There's not a lot of
much you can do.
Yeah, and also another thing, you can take you say you use SB3, right?
I do.
That's what I use too. So
yeah,
we only have RCA on the
yeah.
on the
You got to have that external mixer.
Yeah, so you got or that. So I use RCA to XLR or quarter inch.
Yeah.
So really RCA to quarter inch. So they don't make a lot of 50-foot or 100-foot. RCA to quarter inch.
No.
So it's I think mine's is at 15 foot. So my speakers are really usually 9 times out of 10 closer to me. And then also, you got to think about that if I were to do something like that, a 50-foot or 100-foot RCA to quarter inch. Now I can take my speaker and put it all the way over there, but also there's got to be an outlet over there because the speaker has to have power to it and all this other stuff. But that's just, and then also at that point, I'm going to put my headphones on because I don't have the music right next to me to be able to actually just mix without using my headphones. Because 9 times out of 10, I really don't use my headphones because I can actually hear the music. So I can hear when I'm mixing, I can hear all of that stuff. So I don't really need them. But yeah, no, I definitely understand that because I'm usually 9 times out of 10 I have a sub too. I have everything that I use is alto. So I have I have a 15 inch powered speaker, 2 of them, and then I have a 18-inch alto sub, I believe. I believe it's 18.
Nice.
So yeah, man. So I take all of that stuff with me and it go crazy, especially that sub. That sub goes stupid. Yeah. But yeah, man.
You gotta have a sub. There's one event venue out there. Pardon me.
No good.
Falling here.
No good.
They don't allow a subwoofer because they're so close to like neighborhood, and so you can't use a subwoofer. I'm like, come on, you're taking away my punch.
Right. Because the sub is, man, that's what really gets it, man.
That's it gets
the
it,
bass
man.
and the,
yeah.
oh my god,
you gotta have bass,
especially
man.
if you got like the sub that I'm talking about with the alto, man.
How else are you gonna hear Bad Bunny if you don't have a subwoofer, man?
Exactly, man. And another reason I like using the subs is I don't have to turn my speakers up so loud.
Exactly.
If I don't have if I have the sub, I don't need to, because I'm not gonna lie. I have to turn if I don't bring my sub with me or something, I may not be able to, because I just got it. So before I would turn my speakers up, also turn my mixer up. I'm pretty loud on here, but I'm also checking my speakers every 5 to 10 minutes to make sure that red light ain't blinking. You know what I'm saying, to make sure it's not going over. Because of course, man, these are $400 or $500+ speakers, man. I'm not trying to blow these things.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
So yeah, man. I that's why I was like, I need a sub. But now, with the sub, I can turn the sub up and then turn my speakers only, halfway, and then turn my mixer up, and it sounds better than what the 2 speakers turned all the way up.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, man. Do you only just do corporate style events? Do you do any clubs, anything like that?
No, I haven't gotten really. I haven't really marketed myself. That's one thing. Again, I'm real thankful and grateful to work with LGs. They handle the booking, the scheduling, the marketing. Yeah. And like I told you before, this is a side hustle for me. It continues to be a side hustle. My day job, I work for a London-based commodity market intelligence publication.
Sounds fancy.
Can't say it online. I don't want to represent them. And we're not, and everything that we say here, we're not representing LG in any official capacity. Right. We are grateful that we work for a good company.
Yes.
But yeah, it is a side hustle. Corporate events, I've done, I think I had like 5 or 6 like holiday parties this this season. A lot of parties, several weddings.
A lot of weddings.
Yeah, October was nuts.
I had a couple birthday parties too.
Yeah. I did a 50-year-old birthday party. The theme was Yellowstone. Man, very homogenous. If you,
I believe I did an 80th birthday party.
Oh yeah,
but it was 80s themed.
Oh hell yeah!
She turned.
Yeah.
She wanted 80s themed. I'm not gonna lie to you. That lady did not look 80 at all. She was up, moving around, dancing.
Yeah.
She was the life of the party, man.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I thought when they said it was her birthday, I was like, No way. You know,
She ain't Annie?
I kid you not, man. She didn't look a day over 50.
Yeah.
Really, like genuinely did not. I mean, no cane. She up moving around, talking to people, all of this other stuff, man. So yeah, my fault, man. I didn't mean to cut you off like that.
Oh no, by all means, man. I also did an 80-year-old birthday party.
Okay.
A surprise birthday party. It was down near NASA on an event venue that was on the water. It was right on the edge of the water.
I know which one. I think I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah,
that was actually the one that I was supposed to do with the lady that was
Yeah,
extra rude, man.
yeah,
It was
yeah,
supposed to be
yeah.
at that one.
Yeah, great venue.
Yeah.
And she pulled up on a boat.
Oh my God.
And they had a live band, so I get to play alongside a live band, and man, it was so cool. It was a good venue, and it was a good party. She was definitely not 80, at least in her moves as well. So it was a good time, and with a lot of it was actually they were all black people. And I tell you, man, that was like the most fun I've had at a party.
We gonna tear you up,
dude. I kid you not. Like I played a lot of Rick James, OJ's, and they just brought it down, man. It was so much fun. Yeah, that was one of my favorite parties that I did. Yeah, it was a good time, man.
Yeah, man. Let's see here. So, what do you feel like is the most rewarding part about being a DJ?
The most rewarding part I feel, and sometimes I don't capture it in this moment, but when I look back on it now that you do ask that question, it's at the end of the night when, this is another like kind of a newer trend thing is the private last dance where you got to herd all the cats to go outside and clear out the venue on the inside. So the bridegroom can have their
own dance with
their own private last dance. And there's a real good venue out in Hempstead that does it very well. That they take the microphone from me at the last dance. They say, ladies and gentlemen, we're so honored that you were with us tonight. Please, let's hear it one more time for the bride and groom, and let's give it a shout out to your DJ. Good job. And that's always makes me feel nice. Yeah. That's rewarding. That's a rewarding experience when like people like say, hey, good job, good job, DJ. Again, I don't want to make it about me, but everyone wants to know you did a good job.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to feel it. Yeah. I want to feel like I'm
you
wanted.
did your thing.
Yeah. And then it's right after that private last dance when like, they're just kind of looking at each other and they're exhausted because that's one thing that the venue does is like, hey, the bride and groom love you very much, but they've been around all of you all day. They want to have one last moment. And that's when I kind of see the point of like, make it special,
right?
To make it a special moment. And they've been all around you all day. They just want to have this one private moment with them together. And so you give them this moment. And then when they're done, they just shake your hand. They say, thank you so much. And, you just made you made their night, number one, but you also like,
you just gave them a special feeling.
You gave them that special feeling, and that's what they, that is a big thing, like why you're there.
Yeah.
You don't get these moments back in life.
Nope.
You have everyone under one roof.
That wedding day only happens one time.
Yeah, well, unless,
Right. Unless
Yeah.
you go through it again. But
yeah, that's true. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, as someone who's been a groom himself, like I know that like I remember my wedding day. You remember these days. And for the DJ to facilitate this night, it's a very special feeling. And then when it's all over and said and done, and you're kind of packing up your stuff, and they just say thank you so much. That's the rewarding. That's a rewarding. That's a reward in itself.
Yeah.
And a nice tip too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely, man.
That's always.
Hey,
nice.
I'm not gonna lie to you, man. So. That's another reason why I like doing the corporate events, the weddings and stuff like that. I'm not gonna lie, I get paid more doing that stuff than I do as a club DJ. But man, the tips that I've noticed that I get out, doing these weddings and corporate events versus people just coming up to me in the club drunk trying to request something.
Play Bad Bunny.
Big difference.
Oh yeah.
Big difference. Because I mean, I like the last couple. Thank you guys. If y'all ever see this. But I think they gave me, they gave me a little card think like $150 tip, man. Plus on top of what LG was getting.
Absolutely.
God, man.
Yeah, it's very nice.
Yeah, man. So
Yeah.
I love that type of stuff. You ever get to an event and you leave something very important at home, like a cord or something like that? How you adapt?
Well,
you go get it.
You can do one or two things. Personally, again, because I've been doing this for so long, I have redundancies in my equipment and cables. So I have 2 power cables. I have two
of everything.
I have 2 RCA to 1/4 inch. I have 2, like a headphone kind of cable. I have redundancies kind of set up, but I have done this before. I had a Halloween party in the Woodlands where I forgot my power cable, and I had to go to Best Buy and spend like $80 to buy
I
a
usually
new
go
one,
straight
dude.
to Guitar Center, man. If I forget something, man, if I forget something and I know I forgot it on my way there, stop at the nearest Guitar Center, man. If I can, if it's open or whatever, I'll stop there, grab it, and then I'll return it the next day.
Yeah,
you know
there
what I'm
you go.
saying?
Yeah, return it. Yeah,
but
luckily, I had. So I have my MacBook Pro, which is set up with location services on, and this happened to me once, where I just get out of my, townhouse complex, get on the road, and I make my first right, and then all of a sudden something beeps on my watch or beeps on my phone, says Steven's MacBook Pro has been left
behind.
I'm like,
yep, turn around, go get that. Yeah,
turn around and go get it. So that's real helpful to have that kind of stuff. This new technology that allows that. I've left my wallet at the Mexican restaurant last week, believe it or not, and my thing kind of flashed up on my car because it's the Apple AirPlay or Apple Play, and it's like, go back.
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn, there it is. Yeah. So my head, my head's between my ass sometimes.
No. Hey, man, my girlfriend's over here laughing because this literally happened yesterday. Like, I have an AirTag on my wallet, so I'm like,
yep.
So because I leave my wallet everywhere, man. I don't know why. I leave it at home most of the time. Like I forget it. And we were on our way to family house and popped up on the screen on the car. And it was like, Javion's wallet has been left behind.
I have it on my keys too because I lost my keys at Six Flags this year.
Oh my God, yeah, man. It's just I think that's what my girl says. It's a man thing. It's just like what does that mean? I don't know.
Yeah. Well, hey, we don't have to stop and ask for directions anymore because we have directions on our phone now.
Yeah.
So be grateful.
Yeah, man. So yeah, I think. Well, I can only think of like the latest incident where I've left a power cord or I've left something that was really important. I got to my gig and I didn't have any of my cords I had all my cords except for the power cords to the speakers. And I was like, oh snap, I left them on the couch. And I knew exactly where I left them. And I was like, I called my girl. I was like, do you see these 2 cables with these orange little things on them? She's like, yeah, right here. I'm like, oh God. And I was in Missouri City, man. So I was far. So I was like, I need you to bring me those cables right now. Yeah. And I ended up asking it because it was a house party. So it was private. And I asked the owner, I was like, hey, by chance, do you have this little cable? He was like, man, let me go check it real quick. I'm like, all right, cool. So he goes to check. He's like, I got one. I was like, that's all I need right now. That's all I need right now. I got 2 speakers, in the sub, but hey, I'm gonna make this one speaker work right now, until she pulls up with the rest. So I'm like, all right, so I turn that speaker all the way up, turn the mixer all the way up so they can hear the music and stuff like that. And it was cool because I had just got there early enough to where by the time she pulled up, it wasn't even a big crowd in there. People were just starting to kind of come in. So I was able to, plug those. Everything was already ready to go. All I had to do was plug the speakers up, get some power to them. So, I just kind of adapted on the fly to that because I was like, if they don't have one of these cables, it is not going to be music in here for like another 45 minutes. And I'm like, uh-oh. But,
well, I think, for me, and when I'm loading and preparation for these events, I want to manage my risk in the sense that like all of this stuff kind of plugs and does this here. But if I leave this one specific cable, let's say it's that USB port, the USB-C to USB-A, and I don't have that cable, my whole system's shot.
Yeah.
So in order to hedge my risk, I do one of two things. I leave well enough in advance.
Yeah.
Like I always arrive like 3 hours early. Like you'll see.
I noticed that, man. I noticed. I was like, this dude gets there early.
Yeah, I get there early, man, because I want to set up.
Yeah.
That's another thing that I do is I want to set up and I want to decompress. I want to, I want to take time to make for myself.
Yeah.
I want to take time to better connect with, my higher power, who I call God.
Yeah.
And be grateful for this moment.
Yeah, for what
to
you're doing.
allow me to really focus, because when you're setting up, you got all these things going on. You got like the rigmaroles of the day, and you have all these things going on during the day. But if you just take, for me, if I just take 1 hour, 30 minutes before the event starts, when you have all this chaos before and you have all this chaos right at the start, I give myself this gap in time where I take time to pray. I take time to talk to God and say, I'm grateful to be here, God.
Yeah.
Allow me to be a vessel for you. And even I'm not saying it's like a religious event, or it doesn't even matter like that. But for me,
for you,
when I take that time to talk to God, and I tune off the outside world, and I become a vessel for His word. And not only that, I'm not saying like this is going to be, again, I try and like make this, a saying, but like, I want to say that like, God, I'm here to be a vessel for your word. And even though it's quoted not a religious event and people are going to be partying, getting down, getting crazy, getting crunk, I want to be, that person that they hired to be, allow me to give this time, to be. And that's what I think is so important is I get there, I set my stuff up. I know if I forgot anything, that allows me time to either go back or say go to Best Buy or go to Guitar Center, or wherever I'm going to be.
That makes sense.
And do that. So that's one thing that I've learned this last year and a half is that gap in time that I set up, I sound check. I test everything out. I make sure we're good. I got enough battery space on my microphones. I test. I run down the event. I connect with the coordinator, the venue, the planner, whoever it is. We go down the ceremony. We do it all.
Yeah.
And then I have this time to myself before I have to be, the guy on stage.
Yep.
I have to be the dude.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You got to be the dude.
Yeah.
It's time for you to be the dude.
It's a fact.
Because if you're a 5-hour event, that's a long time to be on your feet. That's a long time. That's a long time. And so,
after that, you gotta break everything down. Take your speakers to your car, to your truck, whatever, man. These speakers are not light speakers, especially these subs, man. They are not light at all. So you got to think about that and how you arrive super early. If you get in there 2 or 3 hours early, you're talking about taking these speakers from, especially like that 80th birthday party I did, man. This was at like a hotel type of event. So
up the elevator,
you got to go up the elevator, some stairs, some
low in the back too.
Yeah, all the way in the back.
You don't get the double doors at the front with the auto open. No. You going through the kitchen.
Yeah,
stuff,
so it's a lot of stuff.
Here's a good one. I had a dream. And it's a joke, by the way. This is a joke. So I had a dream I died and went to heaven, and I knock on the gate, and St. Peter answers, and he looks down and he's like, "Oh yeah, Steven, the DJ." And I go, Yes, St. Peter. And he's like, "Oh, you're the DJ, right? Yeah, we'll take the back."
No, like for real, man. It's really like that. Like,
yeah, exactly. Like you got to go through the smallest entrance,
And like I said, I put in you see my jetpack, man.
Yeah,
I
man.
put a lot of stuff in there. You got this light or this heavy backpack on your back. You got and the speakers are not counting. We're not even talking about your mixer, your board, your all of this other stuff that you got to carry. And then I use
cable box.
Yeah, I use my like I said, my V6, so I carry that with me. The stuff for your microphone, wireless mic stuff, man. Cases and stuff like that.
And it's not cheap either. It's not cheap stuff.
Not at all.
Because you got to be able to protect it. So you have all these cases and stuff, and the cases are big, and pull it out and stuff. So go back to it. I have redundancies in equipment, and I arrive 3 hours early.
Yeah,
that's
really
just how I have to do it.
I might have to,
because if my head wasn't screwed onto my neck, I'd leave it at the house. I promise you.
Yeah, no.
Promise you.
I might have to start arriving a little bit more early. You know what I'm saying? I usually 9 times out of 10 I don't forget anything because I usually do check to make sure.
Course.
And I'm the type of person that I know that I will leave something, so I'm like, okay, let's go through this list. Check. But I start with the most important things. Do I have my mixer? Yes. Do I have my computer? Yes. You know, like those are the most important things. Is like you can't forget those.
Do you have the USB dongle?
Do you have the little adapter for it? You know, do you have this? Do you have that? You know, because I think one time I got to my car and I put everything in my car. I'm like, man, I'm forgetting something. I look in the back. I'm like, I think I'm forgetting something.
Yeah.
And then I was like, what is it? I go and I was like, my damn board. You know, like what am I gonna DJ on when I got everything but my board? So I come back up here and get it. But I know I'm that type of person, so I'm like, let me go ahead and make sure I make the discount double check on it. You know what I'm saying?
And that's another thing that I'm grateful to work for a company that has, they've taught me systems. Lewis, the big guy, is a big proponent of the systems in place. Prepare if you fail to prepare to fail.
Right.
So I've got a system for all my cables. Like, okay, this is my setup for this. This is the cables I'm going to need. This is the mix board that I'm going to use. I need the 10-channel mixer for, say, the ceremony because we have a vocalist, we have an instrumentalist, we have a lapel. So we have to have the right boards. And if you have the right systems in place, you will be a measure for success. And that's one thing that I'm grateful that I work with the larger company at hand is they have, they're a good systems check, in place.
Yeah. That's a fact, man. We about to wrap it up here, man. Steven the DJ, man, I'm so glad you came on the show, man. This was really dope. You definitely taught me some stuff, and I learned some stuff about you. Where can these people, find you at? Maybe social media, anything like that? Maybe book you?
Yeah, you can find me at on Instagram at Steven in Recovery. It's literally just as it is, Steven, STEVENIN Recovery, RECOVERY. Okay. Steven in Recovery, and that goes to the fact that I am in recovery. I'm a grateful recovering alcoholic and addict, and so I approach my events sober. I do all my events sober. I also, like I said, I have a clear head when I go about these things. I'm grateful when I am approached, before I approach my event. I am appreciative. I make the event about the event, not myself. I check my ego at the door. And I always, I'm always just grateful. I just approach it with a grateful mindset because, being in recovery, I realized that I got a second chance. I got a second chance at this. In my previous life, I took a lot of things for granted. I didn't approach much of anything with gratitude. And so when I do my events, I have that attitude of gratitude. I'm real grateful to have worked an internal program, like the 12-step program. If there are any people that watch this that have that are in the entertainment industry or do these things that we do, that have a struggle, that may need some help. One thing that I've learned is it's okay to not be okay. I heard it a lot on your previous episodes. What was getting comfortable, being uncomfortable.
Yes.
And the more that you talk about things, the more that you reach out to people, the more success you will have when you approach it that way. So for me, an attitude of gratitude, connecting with a higher power, and helping others.
For sure.
Trust God, clean house, serve others. That's the way I approach my own life. I'm a proud father of 2 sons.
Yes, sir.
And for me, I always want to know that, like, if my sons are going to come back through my life and look at the things that I did, I want them to know that, like, I did things at this point in my life that would make them proud.
Yeah. Pops was the GOAT. You
Well,
know what I'm saying? Type thing. Yeah.
You know, Pops, they're you know, he made some bad decisions earlier in his life, but like it was never it was never a detriment because of them.
Right.
You know, I didn't do this and act up in such a way that like I'm angry at my sons. No, it was more or less I was angry at myself.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I untreated addiction, and I went about it the wrong way. But if there's anyone out there that is struggling with anything, my door is always open for discussion. Again, Stephen in Recovery is how you can find me. There are other, you know, avenues of help. However, whatever conflict you have inside yourself, it is nothing too large that another pair of ears won't help, because I promise you, once you talk about it, you'll feel better about it.
For sure.
So again, JV, I'm really glad that you had me on here. I'm really, really grateful.
Hey, man, I appreciate you coming on here, man, sharing your story, you know, doing your thing on here, man. I really appreciate it. Hey, y'all go follow him one more time, Stephen in Recovery on Instagram. Hit him up for your next wedding, your next gig, your next anything, man. He does it all. So, yeah, but y'all already know what's next. It's the dessert mix. Keep it locked. It is Shef Radio.